What's this?
Give me that back.
Meant no harm, friend. I thought for certain you were dead. I kicked you 3 times.
Who are you?
Friends call me Honest Tom.
I need to get upriver. The steamboat's been ambushed.
The Morning Star? Hell, it was 3 days ago. Were you aboard? Oh, hate to tell you, friend, but no one survived. Renegades got 'em all. Scalped every man, woman, and child. Bloody savages.
Ned. Where's Dodge City from here?
Through the pass, about a day's ride to the ferry boat.
That horse for sale?
In a hurry, huh? I don't blame you. If I had me a token to the Alhambra, I'd be in a hurry, too. You, look to be a sporting man. Care to wager? Go ahead, kid. Stick your toes in the stirrups. You have ridden before, have you not?
Well, we're back, and we got this mysterious fella, Honest Tom,
You ready, friend?
gonna show us how to ride. I actually really like the horse controls in this
I'll
game.
give you a chance to run around a bit before we wager.
They kind of feel
First,
like
let's try some
more like a standard motor vehicle
Press the
than they do a
sprint
horse.
button to spur
And I
your
think that's
horse.
why I like them so much, because they are so
Behind it.
unrealistic.
Do it again.
So gas, brakes, clutch, you know, the usual.
It's, well, kind of. I think it's more like because you're able to,
Stirring too much can
just
even
because
kill
you're
your
able
horse.
to
Then
so
he'll be
effectively
real
turn on a
mad.
dime and to stop so effectively.
All right, let's see you attempt some jumps. Rest your spurs for a spell, and the horse will revive. Tiny
I mean, I do like the realistic horse controls in Red Dead Redemption, but this has a better feel to it overall because
Show me if you
it's
got the goods, kid.
it's so loose.
Plus, Neversoft's All-E game is on its top right now. You know.
Now let's
Yeah.
see how good you really are. Let's race.
All right, so we got to go over to the race start, but Tom takes his sweet time getting over there.
Oh, flashbacks to Zelda.
Oh, this won't be the first flashback to Zelda you'll be having.
Get
Oh,
ready to race.
Tom, I don't think that's the. I think you're not facing the right direction here.
Tom's gonna race off the cliff.
Tom always cheats, so we're gonna cheat just as hard. Take a shortcut, but oh nope, the game doesn't let you cheat.
Oh.
I've heard that harmonica way too many times because that plays every time you get a game over.
3 laps round the meadow.
I'm starting to believe that Honest Tom is an ironic nickname.
But hold on, you can quick start him if you time it right. Cheaters never prosper, eh? But you still can't like you still have to go around the meadow. But there are 2 separate paths, and I'll be showing both of them off. Yeah, I had a little fun with the subtitles here.
Come on, giddy up.
I couldn't help myself. I'm gonna be being not quite as loose with the subtitles in future videos, but just to start out because I'm still learning Adobe Premiere, so this is my way of sort of teaching myself how the text options work.
This is the training ground.
Yeah. So this is the outer path that we're taking, and then there's the slightly inner path, which is faster, but you have to do those 3 jumps. So it takes more skill to take the shorter path. And if you cut it any further than that, it triggers that game over that I showed off earlier. Like if you try to go inside, cut the corner inside that rock there, that's the boundary for game over.
Aha.
So you see that the meter on the bottom there, that's your horse's health. Every time you spur your horse, it will lose some health, and it will regenerate over time, but it takes a while, and it won't regenerate if you're galloping.
Follow me. You gotta kill at least 5 of the
Also,
buffalo
check this
before you
out. We
can
can kill buffalo with a horse.
take
Yes.
which
That seems wrong somehow, but
it's biologically impossible. I think a horse weighs like maybe a half or maybe like a third of what a buffalo does. We gotta get a specialist here to confirm. Also, yeah. So here's the next section. We gotta shoot bottles here. I have some trouble with this section, at least at first. And then things start to get a little iffy, because this section is supposed to end here, but Tom's not reacting properly here. He's already supposed to trigger his dialogue, and I'm kind of stuck.
Honest Tom just soft locked.
Yes. I had never had this happen before, so I was trying to figure out what the hell to do. It turns out, like, this would be a soft lock. I would have to restart the mission. Turns out the only way to get to resume the checkpoint is to kill your own horse. Because Tom's horse is invincible. Because Tom's horse is invincible. There is an end mission option, which restarts the mission. But there's no, like, restart from checkpoint.
If you whip me on this part, then I'm gonna have to give you my horse. Them pesky wolves
more
are back
wolves.
to scavenge. You can use spur or trample.
See, this makes more sense. You know, using a trample attack to kill wolves makes a hell of a lot more than to use it to kill buffalo. I still can't...
I'd like to see the horse against the bear in Mission 1.
I can't remember whether there are any bears in the wild. Like, I know there's more wolves and coyotes, and there's like plenty of other animal types that you could trample. I can't remember if there are any bears though. I'll have to check. I assume that it would take maybe a couple of trample attacks based on this game's logic, but you would eventually be able to kill it. And yeah, with the GameCube C-Stick, not great for shooting from your horse.
To be fair, the C-Stick wasn't great for much.
Yeah, especially not for aiming in third or first person shooters.
Well, kid, you win fair and square. Be kind to her, will you?
I will.
She's been a good animal.
Thanks. Come on.
God damn it, it took you long enough.
So much for your name.
You really think I'd give up my ride without a fight? Let's kill this bastard. He's got an Alhambra token on him.
Oh no, Honest Tom betrayed us. I never would have seen that coming at all. And he's got two accomplices. So we gotta shoot them off of their horses, and then Honest Tom just sort of spawns like further around the map here.
Further up the way.
Yeah. And he's actually a lot tougher than his accomplices because he has a more powerful rifle. You have to sort of lure him out here and then use a quick draw. You can alternatively just shoot his horse out from under him, because now that he's a bad guy, his horse is now actually vulnerable to bullets.
Obliged, Tom. If I pass this way again, I'll be sure and throw some dirt on you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Poker missions. Pony Express.
Yeah, those are all missions. So, as I mentioned before, this is open world. And it's a pretty small open world, all things considered. But, yeah, this is the starting area, Blackfoot Camp. And, what's this over here? This, looks like yellow snow. But,
No.
oh, nope. Never mind. We can't mine gold yet. We don't have a pickaxe.
It's just on the ground.
Yeah. But we can't do anything with it yet. We need a pickaxe. That's how gold mining works, right? I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
So we got to go over to Dodge City, which is in New Mexico.
Take this little trail.
Yeah, I'm gonna be fast forwarding through some parts and fading out through some others. Oh, look, there's another patch of gold right there, just sitting there.
Can't do anything with it.
Yep, that's one of the collectibles that we're gonna get for 100%.
You're lucky. This is my last run till further notice. The fugitive band of Apaches are on the warpath again. They cut the telegraph and destroyed the bridge leading out of Dodge.
What's got them stirred up?
New railroad between Dodge and Empire. Cuts through their land.
Dodge City. Take the token to the Alhambra Saloon and ask for Jenny. That's what Ned said just before he died.
Also, turns out Ned's not actually my father. What the hell's up with that?
My not father bought me a whore before he died.
That was a really nice, almost about to die present he gave me.
Plan on getting out of town until it blows over. I'm sure you'll be fine. Have a good one.
Now, it might be Nolan North, but it's hard to tell. I'm picking up on the fact that the audio mix is a little across the board on this game.
Oh yes, I've fixed most of the audio problems in future videos, but I left it mostly untouched in this first video. So this is the first city. This is Dodge. We're in I think this is Dodge is in New Mexico, I think. I'm gonna have to double check that. And the next city that we're going to is in New Mexico. Anyway, here are RPG elements. Where we can only...
Because of course you need those.
Yeah, we can only improve these stats by completing side missions and certain story missions as well. Also, we don't have any items yet, but we're going to fix that pretty soon. We're going to go over to the shopkeep and buy some stuff, because we start off with some money. Also, for some reason, just buying stuff at the store counts as a side mission.
Just received a new shipment of goods. Have a look.
Now remember, kids, $40 was a lot of money back then.
Oh, it was a shitload of money back then. Oh my god, a scalping knife.
Ow! Ooh!
So scalping doesn't actually do anything. At one point in development, there's an Indian trader you could visit later, and at one point in development, you would be able to trade in the scalps of your enemies for cash.
No.
Thankfully, that never got past the development stage. Also, hey, let's go back to the operator. Now that we've got our pickaxe, we can go back and get those gold.
Son, the ferry's out of commission.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Nolan North!
He did say that was his last run for the day, but, you know.
How did he break it in 15 minutes and 5 feet?
Anyway, we got some gold over here. That's fine. It's just sitting there. So, yeah, as I was mentioning before, thankfully that idea for selling the scalps never got past the conceptual phase.
You look like the adventuring sort, but are you daredevil enough to ride for the Pony Express? Well, if you want the work, come see me. I'm around. You might also try my brother Daryl in Empire. The pay's real good, if you all stay alive long enough to spend it. You know, I'm just kidding. Okay, gonna start you off easy. Go lend Tiny Tubbs a hand. Poor fella's so big, he can't walk from one end of town to the other.
So they start us off pretty easy with this first Pony Express mission. We just gotta walk to the other side of town where Tiny Tubbs is waiting for us. Also, I think he's also voiced by Fred Tatasciore. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
I declare I am simply famished. If I don't procure some comestibles post-haste, I shall surely perish. I do believe the shopkeep has everything I need.
We gotta get some food for this guy. In my initial notes, I was going to rail against this guy for wearing a necktie, but apparently the modern version of a necktie was was first seen in the U.S. around 1860.
Heavens! You barely made it here in time. Why, a moment longer and I'd be crestfallen.
Wanted George Whiskers Mahoney for the wanton murder of an Empire barber following a bad beard trim. Known to be found gambling in the Alhambra saloon.
So these side missions are the only ways to make money, and I think this is the reason why the Indian trader trading the scalps was cut, and not because it was racist. because that's just how the game's economy works. So here's George Mahoney. I accidentally killed him, so I had to restart. So you can get him dead or alive. This is I accidentally grabbed him there. So we subdued him here. The thing is that the way that the mechanics work for subduing is the same way that you grab human shields and then execute them afterwards. It's the same button press, which is really weird.
Oops.
But when you're dealing with these missions, it's subdue, not execute.
Okay, so it's context sensitive.
Yeah, let's go play poker. This is Texas Hold'em, which is completely anachronistic. It didn't develop. It didn't develop until like the 20th century, and then didn't become popular outside of Texas until I think the 1960s. Anyway, I cut most of this out, but I just wanted to show it off just for one round. The poker tournaments are one of the things you have to do for 100%. If you play really aggressively, generally speaking, you'll just lock them into a situation where they will either go all in on really stupid hands, or they'll just keep folding, and you can just sort of chip away at their funds. So,
You got a good hand, at least.
There's also something else that you could do, but it's disabled on hard and insane. You can only do it on easy and normal. I'll be showing it off later. I was really concerned when I was doing this footage, because I was like, where's this other option? Like, it's in all the FAQs. It turns out it's just disabled when you're playing on hard. So yeah, I tricked these people into going all in on a crappy hand. So I won $10. I won $10 for my efforts. Wait, there's a piano man here. I'm pretty sure that's just a self-play piano, and he's just trying to show off for the whore over there. Okay, excuse me. Get me a drink, bartender.
Help you?
I'm looking for Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
Where'd you get this?
Fella named Ned White give me it. Told me to come here and ask for you.
I remember Ned. He was real sweet on a girl that used to work here, Sadie. That's her picture above the bar.
Sadie is dead.
What? How do you know? Who are you?
Ned was my father. He and Sadie were both killed on a steamboat up north.
Come on upstairs.
God damn it, girl! How long we gotta wait before we get a proper poke?
Till I tell you. Now have another drink on me, and I'll be with you shortly.
He ain't getting a poke before us.
Let go of me!
Not till I'm done with you, bitch! Come on, girl! Yeah! Yeah! Like this! Woo! Yeah!
Yeah, for those of you who were watching the cut commentary, yes, I did just sub in the word bitch with Ocelot from Metal Gear Solid 3. I was having some fun there, I'm sorry. And for those of you who are watching the uncut commentary, you can watch the cut commentary by clicking on the link in the description. Double the viewership. Anyway, yeah, this part's really hard. Even on hard, and it's absolutely ridiculous on insane. Like, this was... I almost gave up here when I was first doing my my insane playthrough a while back. You don't get a checkpoint until you cross, like, right about here. Like, you have to kill these guys first and then cross, like, over where those bosses are. And that's the first checkpoint. Also, I just made that guy's head explode.
Headshots are amazing in this.
So yeah, that's where I got a checkpoint there. Also, I didn't know this at the time, but apparently there's a hole in that wall over there, and you can use it to snipe enemies. Yeah, I'm not subtitling these enemies unless it's really important dialogue. It's just, yeah, one has limits, you know. So yeah, this part is really nerve-wracking because I had already wasted a good 10-15 attempts trying to get through here, just getting ambushed by enemies, rounding corners, and at short range they can kill in 2 hits.
I think you just wrecked Barry Burton.
Well, I mean, my gun is very powerful, especially against living things. So, I mean, if you're playing on easy, you can, if you're planning it right, just run right upstairs and save Jenny. You don't have to kill any of these enemies as like part of a flag or something. But on hard and insane, you pretty much have to kill them just to stay alive.
Get this asshole off me!
Now you're pissing me off.
Makes for some excitement.
You'll be leaving here in a gut bucket.
I listened to that line over and over again. I think it's gut bucket. I don't know.
Come over here. Better show you this now before the rest of the Red Hands show up. It's all yours. Night before she left, Sadie begged me to keep it safe till Ned came for it. Poor girl was in love with him, I think.
Ned never cared much for 6 guns. Rifle and tomahawk were his choosing. Where'd Sadie go from here?
Empire, New Mexico. A new sporting house wanted her for the main attraction, but she ran off a short time after she got there.
Huh, you know why?
No, but maybe I'll find out. As soon as the roads open, I'm going to Empire to replace her.
Back. Burn it to the ground! That bastard killed my brother!
Oh hey, a new gun.
That was poorly done, guys.
But at least we got a new gun out of it. We got our fake dad's gun. It's a Schofield. Most of the guns, the new guns that you get are like straight upgrades from previous weapons you get. There are some exceptions to that, but we won't be seeing them for a while. So there are arsonists coming in. They're working for Crude, who's the brother of Rude, who we killed earlier.
We're not very original with our names, folks.
Yeah, incidentally, Crude is the only character who Fred Tatasciore is credited for. The guy who was playing Earl, the guy who ran Pony Express.
Thing like you learned to shoot like that.
You get the feeling that they just gave these guys a list of lines, put them in a hat, shook them up, pulled them out.
I get the feeling that they threw them into the air, activated quick draw, and shot them, and whichever lines landed closest to the voice actors who were sitting in a circle, they were assigned. So there's a couple of stages to these wave of arsonists who are trying to burn down the Alhambra. You want to watch out for the guys with torches. They're the important ones. They're the ones who could actually do damage to the Alhambra itself. The other ones are just trying to kill you and Jenny. Jenny will also kick the ass of anyone who comes into the Alhambra, but eventually she will start taking damage. Jenny's actually, all things considered, Jenny is fairly competent as an NPC ally.
She is the hooker with a heart of gold and a 6-iron.
Yes, and a
I'll call
shotgun.
in the bucket brigade.
Oh, that's even better.
And yes, bucket brigades were a real thing before, for our younger viewers. Before the advent of fire hoses, there would be this brigade of people passing buckets of water from one person to another. Also, look at that bullshit. This guy's iframes. His horse ran over me.
Oh.
I didn't know that when I was recording. So yeah, bucket brigades. Yeah, they would just pass buckets of water from one person to another, and that's how they would put out fires in ye olden days of 1880.
This is back when people had this thing called upper body strength.
And also when they had, well, they still have dirt wells, but when they had more dirt wells.
Into the firebox with the horse. It's all gonna burn. There's Crude again. I got it lit.
And you can trample other horses, and if you trample enough, it will cause the other enemy to fall off of their horse. Oh look, that looks safe. There's some whiskey just right over that crude oil. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's just an object rather than, you know, actual whiskey.
They're attacking the east side.
I love this game so much.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's pretty ridiculous.
The best bad games are the ones that are genuinely fun to play that just have ridiculous premises. I think like they're not the ones that are genuinely bad. It's just the ones that are ridiculous.
I got it lit. The Alhambra is burning down. Please, God.
God's not gonna hear you, buddy. And if he is, I don't think he's gonna have very nice things to say about you, seeing as your last dying action was to burn down a whorehouse because you wouldn't settle for sloppy seconds. Or even worse, it was your boss who wouldn't settle for sloppy seconds, and you're following his orders blindly out of sheer loyalty.
You're dead, boss.
Actually, no, it's the brother of the sloppy seconds boss.
Mongo is only pawn in Game of Life.
Let's settle this thing. If you got the balls.
I wish that this game had a dueling mechanic like it did. Like, even Red Dead Revolver had one. Red Dead Redemption had an amazing one. And Red Dead Revolver had a pretty good one, too. And it was pretty similar to the one in Redemption, just not as refined. Also, as you can see here, Quick Draw has its limitations. It sometimes has some issues registering the hitboxes of enemies, even if your cursor is right above them. Right on top of them, I should say. Also, the entire gang has a collective health bar. I was trying to figure out if I could grab this guy, but no. Yep, I could, but you have to melee them first or shoot them once. Anyway, mission complete. And we just got another weapon. We barely.
This is another game where they just load them on, isn't it?
Hell of a shot, kid. Bet he was dead before he hit the ground.
You gonna arrest me?
Hell no. I'm gonna hire you. I'm Patrick Denton, city marshal.
Where you been, Pat? All hell's broken loose here. Huh?
Out at the bridge. Apaches are making things plenty hot out there. Listen, I could use a dead shot like you to protect the Chinaman. How about it?
He's coming back inside with me.
Oh, lucky him. Well, if you change your mind, kid, come on out to the bridge west of town. Damn Peckerwood.
Jenny, can you keep a secret?
I'm a book of secrets, honey.
I was on that steamboat. A murdering preacher led the attack. I saw him kill Sadie.
A preacher. About a week ago, a reverend named Reed showed up here looking for Sadie.
Did he say where he was from?
Said he'd come from Empire.
Then I'm going there with you.
I know the mayor of Empire. His name's Hoodoo Brown. If anyone can help you find that preacher, it'll be him.
Then I better get out to that bridge. Help that marshal get the road open. Keep the change.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. I physically cringed in real life having to write out that subtitle. And we're going to be seeing a lot of cringe in the next video. Oh boy.
I look forward to it.
Yep.
D in quality control has some explaining to do.